So we have another video, chat. We have another video. This is everyone's favorite PragerU e-boy. It is, of course, Will Witt, and they're doing what they think is a comedy bit called Progressive Sounds of Patriotism, which I think is like a fake song thing. So I guess we'll see what happens. This is Will Witt thinking he's going to do a thing. He thinks it's funny. It's not funny. Oh, didn't expect to see you there.
Oh, didn't see you there.
Wow.
Well, once again, it's the time of the year where we celebrate the birthday of the US of A. You may think of hot dogs, fireworks, a day at the beach, and listening to some of those classic American songs you love. But since we now know that this country was built on stolen land and founded on the racist ideas of white men, any celebration of America is racist.
No, that's not the argument. Celebration of America could be racist in the way that you do it, but really what it is people are just not as gassed up about celebrating America in the way that we celebrate it for Independence Day during the 4th of July for some of those reasons, but other reasons as well. Like, so leftists are just not gassed up. We're not patriotic people because we want to be. I think a lot of leftists want to be patriotic. I would love to, and I tweeted this the other day, I would love to be in a situation where I felt super fucking proud to be a member of this, of like the American experience, you know what I mean? But I'm not proud of it because we fucking hurt people all the time, and that sucks. And I want everybody to be happy as much as we can do. I want people to have a quality of life, to be happy, to have access to opportunity. And they just don't have that in America. Some people have that in America. I'm one of the lucky people so far. Right now, this could change at any moment. Right now, I am in a lucky place. Forever? Doubtful. This will at some point probably not be my job. And that sucks. But right now it is. And that's okay. But the fact that I need to even think that way is like why we're not excited about this. So yes, America is founded on racism. It is founded on stolen land. But that's not the only reason people aren't gassed up about the 4th of July. You mentioned fireworks. That's a big reason people aren't gassed up about 4th of July. It's explosions. You're celebrating war. And you're celebrating veterans. And then like veterans and pets all over the country have to basically shelter in place all day, all week, really, because the fireworks are just going off all the time, and that sucks. It brings up PTSD. It's not good for the environment. It starts fires every year. It's just not interesting. I don't think fireworks are fucking good, man. Try all year in my neighborhood, but yeah, depends on where you're at. I don't think you should be forced to work in order to survive either. I agree. You should finally start the housing weed co-op. That takes a little bit more fucking. You're gonna have to sub at tier 3 there, Blue Room, if you wanna get me doing those things. I don't have nearly the capital to start that up. That is a incredibly expensive endeavor, but I'm trying. So like there's lots of reasons behind the lack of excitement about this. I mean, he's wearing a Che fucking. Oh my god. I think chiefly among them, especially for millennials, is not having any economic opportunities, or at least not as many economic opportunities under capitalism and under America in general, because we just don't. Wages have not gone up. Prices have only skyrocketed since we've been kids. And so we're incredibly disenfranchised, and we're disillusioned about the American dream, because the American dream, as you propose it, does not exist. The American dream is, the prerequisite of the American dream is generational wealth. If you don't have generational wealth, then you're not going to do that. Which is why when people move here, the first generation people, like almost every person that's a second generation American, right? Maybe they have Korean parents, and they're Korean American, right? And their parents came from Korea and started a business, whatever that business may be. Often from places like Korea, Japan, and China, their governments help them set stuff up, and then we have incentives here. So you might see Korean big thing in Korean places, obviously food, nail salons, stuff like that. Russians come over here sometimes, but usually they have money. because we don't import them. Indian people from India, often, typically, like the reason you see a lot of Indian people that have success is typically we only bring over like a doctor or something. So you'll see that. I had a boss once that's Pakistani, from the right on the border of India, and he was a business owner, and he was able to secure some loans and became a business owner, and so you see sometimes this second generation where they go, yeah, my parents worked really hard, and then I didn't have any upward mobility. I didn't have a place to go, unless it was prior to like the 80s, 90s. So if you're a kid from like the 60s, you might have a very successful run, right? Because wages haven't gone up since I was a kid, really. It went up in 2004, 2006, somewhere in there. I think it was 2006. The minimum wage went up to like 7 something, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. So, if what do you expect, dude? I've had 20 years, roughly, almost 20 years, where if I would have worked the job I was working, I wouldn't be able to afford this house I'm living in. Like, what the fuck? At a high level, I was working that job. So, pretty sad, dude. Pretty sad.
It's time to update those old whitewashed American songs to reflect the progress that we've made.
All right, dude.
So we're proud to introduce progressive sounds of patriotism with songs you're sure
On a CD and a tape.
to enjoy no matter what your preferred pronouns are. Songs like Grand Old Pride Flag,
Colors, design, and gender are subject to change.
Yankee Doodle Dismantled,
This is so fucking lame, dude.
This Land is Stolen Land, This land is stolen land, this land is their land, from Navajo Nation to the Stolen Islands.
It's pretty sad that they're like making fun of that. You know what I mean? This is comedy. It's comedy. It's comedy to mock people whose land you fucking destroyed, taken. We were just talking about that earlier. Like you fucking took Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. You took these things just to what? You took them from native people to what? Destroy their culture and to sit on it and do nothing. It's fucking shitty, dude. Land back. Land back, bro.
Workers of the world unite around the sickle-spangled banner. Battle hymn of the Marxist utopia. Some gave all their money to socialism.
Some gave all their money to socialism.
Take me home, communist roads. Forget
Roads are literally communist. They're communal. Roads are literally communal. Yes, that's true. All roads in America are communal. That's a fact. Actually, that's not. Some are private, but most are communal. They're literally communist.
America the beautiful. We're doing America the bigoted.
I mean, there's definitely some bigots in America. America can also be beautiful. It can be both. America can be physically beautiful and filled with bigots. These are not incompatible.
America, America, shine down critical race theory and crown minorities with all authorities.
What the fuck? This is just whiny bitch baby stuff again. Will, you little fucking pussy. Oh my god, dude. I'm worried that all the black people are gonna have all the authority and I'm not gonna have any. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You fucking loser, dude. Will, you fucking loser, bro. God, that's so sad. I'm worried I'm not gonna have any authority. Shut the fuck up. Moroccan, I'm Lakota with 50 biddies, and they took our land for gold and oil. Put us on a reservation on rocky and fertile land far from our traditional hunting grounds, then poisoned our drinking water with the oil they stole through oil pipelines. Oh, yeah. I'm really sorry to hear that. America is beautiful but not perfect. Of course. And that's all we're trying to do is make it better. Old enough, no better now. Thanks for giving one to Cult of Cautious Optimism. Appreciate that. Mab, make America better. True.
From he who changed to she. Who's got time for parties when we've got to go to
Little transphobia there.
with a race riot in the USA? The old flag isn't just rugged, it's a racist old flag.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the trans, black, and Latinx.
Latinx.
You can't have patriotism without pride.
Dude, the Latinx stuff. Some people don't like it. That's okay. Some people do. That's okay too. It's whatever's down to your preference. I'm fine with that. Any community can identify themselves as whatever, and then when they say, "Hey, I think this is this is the way that we'd like our community identified," you just go, "Okay, that's pretty easy. I'm not a part of that, so I'm not gonna say. I will just do that because I want you to be happy and I want you to be comfortable, and there's literally no reason for me to have an opinion other than that." No, I'm gonna call you something else. Why? Just fucking call them whatever they want to be called. That's fine. I am not part of the, in his words, Latinx community. So I don't have a say, dude. That's fine. If someone doesn't want to be called that, move on. That's whatever. I'm fine with that. Like, there's so many fucking conservatives who are like, don't call me that. And it's like, how is that different? You don't prefer that? Interesting. Cool. Okay.
God bless the U.S. gays.
Of course he will.
American birthing person.
What is this birthing person thing? Why do they keep doing that? I have never heard that. Ever.
Bye-bye, Miss American BIPOC. The kids will be learning this one in school. Critical race theory, 'tis of thee. That white guilt classic, ashamed to be an American.
White guilt classic.
I'm ashamed to be an American, where I know I'll never be free.
From capitalism. And that's it. I'll never be free from capitalism. I mean, I don't think capitalism is an accessory to freedom at all. In fact, I think it's an inhibitor. Especially in the way it exists. Right? If you want capitalism, if you want freedom, you need to be pushing away from capitalism wherever you can, because you don't want to be inhibited by the lack of capital in regards to your freedom and your expression of that, right? So if capital is preventing you from doing some things, it makes sense. Like, so for instance, if you can't buy a PlayStation, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you not being able to afford a PlayStation today because you spent your money on some other shit. That's whatever. That's not what freedom is. But freedom, I think obviously we need to be able to do certain things. Have shelter is definitely a freedom that I think everybody should have. Access to shelter, maybe definitely a good freedom to have, huh? Access to healthcare, access to education, so that you can, based on your own merit, you can excel at a certain thing. This is what capitalists don't understand, right? They say like, oh, we live in a meritocracy. Do we live in a meritocracy? Okay, so how about this? I'm a kid that wants to be a doctor, but I have poor parents. Do I have the freedom to pursue doctor school? Likely not. Now, not in every single case. Sometimes you can do it. But likely not. You know what I mean? Especially not without massive amounts of debt. Is it free? Is that freedom to pursue education? But on the other side, a little sword of Damocles hanging over my head in the form of incredible amounts of student debt that I have to pay as soon as I get a job in the field, meaning I can't ever opt out of that field of work for fear of going bankrupt? Is that free? What if I want to be a doctor for 5 years and I don't want to be a doctor after that? And I want to go teach because it's more fulfilling to me. But I have to keep the higher paying job being a doctor, even though I'm qualified to teach, because I have student loans I have to pay off. How is that freedom, bro? How in any way is that free? Doesn't sound like freedom to me, dude.
And I'd like to blame all the white males who
I'm a white male.
took that right from me, so
And what?
I raise my fist up next to you at the protest here today, and I proudly say I hate this land.
This is such a weird thing, dude. This is such a weird thing. Do you think, do conservatives genuinely think that I want Americans to have access to health care and education and job security and shelter and all of these things and live whatever way they want to live as long as it doesn't hurt anybody? Do they genuinely think I want them to have more freedoms because I hate this place? Leftists don't hate this country. Okay? Leftists hate what the country is doing. Leftists don't hate the people. Leftists hate the apparatus through which the country operates, the harmful stuff. So leftists want to mitigate harm. That's it, and make people happier. That's it. And as long as we can try to be striving towards a happier tomorrow, like every day, just building on what we did yesterday and trying to just give a quality of life to everybody that lives here. That's the goal. We may never reach, we probably won't reach in human history, actual anarcho-communism, right? Like kind of the goal behind most ethical philosophies, where people sort of govern themselves. They don't have this overreaching body. They have small communities where they live how they want, and everybody works in cohesion as much as possible, and everybody has what they need to some extent, to most extent. We get rid of scarcity, etc. But that's the idea is not to really get there, not really. The idea is to strive toward a version of that gives us the most freedom and most happiness. Now, you have to make sacrifices, right? Now, I can't have maximal freedom because I have to take into account somebody else's well-being. Maximal freedom, like a freedom, like 100% freedom would mean that I could kill people, right? I don't want to kill people, but I could kill people under maximal freedom. Obviously, we give up the freedom to hurt somebody else because it makes sense, right? Because it would infringe other people's freedoms. You can't have 100% maximum freedom because then you don't have much freedom at all. And so these are just the give and takes, basically. That's it. And leftists like this shit. That we like the country enough to fight for what it could be. Maybe we hate what it is now, but we love the country itself, like the people in it, like what makes a country a country. The flag is not what makes the country a country. The Constitution barely makes it a country. Like there's lots of fucking problems. There's lots of fucking problems with the Constitution. I have one on my desk right here. Lots of problems with this fucking document in here. But that's because it's a living document. We can change it. So, like, I don't understand conservatives, man. I don't understand them. They don't make any sense.
Dismantle the USA! Who needs Independence Day when you can celebrate Helpless Victimhood Day? The perfect lullaby for your anchor baby.
Anchor baby.
Illegally immigrated to the USA.
I actually think, again, immigration is such a weird thing because capitalism requires... Did I say thank you, Pixel Jester? Thank you for following. Capitalism requires low-end labor in the way that it's organized now. Capitalism requires the kind of immigration that conservatives oppose, like to operate. Because the cost would be too high if we gave those really terrible jobs to people with rights in our country, which is obviously a thing that leftists think is abhorrent, and it is. I live in Michigan, and we have an incredibly large number of seasonal workers in the summer times and the harvest seasons that work on farms and stuff, and a lot of them happen to be illegal. In fact, I worked alongside several people who either were or themselves knew or lived with illegal immigrants, and they're just people that fucking want to live, dude. Like, I've never met an illegal immigrant that has ever been like, like a shitty person. Like maybe someone I disagree with or I don't really hang out with. Never like a just dog shit person. They're just hardworking and they want to have some sort of form of opportunity. And sadly, capitalism in America is better than capitalism in Mexico. In some spaces, the spaces these people come from, and it's like, why don't you want someone that wants to, like, your whole thing, conservatives' whole thing is work hard, make money, drink Busch Light, have a family. That's pretty much all most Mexican families want anyway, dude. Most Mexican people tend to come from kind of a conservative background at this point, because of the high rate of Catholicism, because of the sort of the pace of that country, and proximity to those ideas. Now, that's not to say every Mexican person is conservative. Obviously, that's not true, but it is definitely a lot of conservative in the Mexican communities. A lot of them just want like a normal life. You know what I mean? Just like fucking normal shit. Most people in general kind of want what conservatives think is a good family. Most people want one partner, maybe a kid, maybe two kids. They want like a dog or a cat or both or some variation. They want a house that's their own, a little bit of a yard. They want a grill. Like, they want to watch Netflix. Like, that's all most people want to do, dude. Is just like have a little bit of a life.
Caramble was just a gorilla.
Why be against people that want to come here and work? I thought that was like a big thing in conservative circles. Very strange. Fractured Fern, thanks for following, dude.
Hail to the Chief Diversity Officer. Much more inclusive than white and blue, red, black, and brown. We all have that friend or family member who still proudly displays the American flag and stands for the national anthem instead of kneeling. And this album is the perfect gift to educate them about their white privilege and how to stop being a racist bigot.
I know I'm taking this seriously, but I'm trying to actually talk about things instead of just feeding into this dumb bullshit. I don't think you're a racist bigot if you stand for the American flag during the national anthem. I don't care if you do that. You are free to do that thing. I also don't care if you don't partake in those activities during the national anthem. That's fine too. I don't care. I'm about free speech, my guy. I don't know. Most leftists don't really give a shit. Like, if a leftist, like, be honest, leftists in chat, which is basically all of you. If you saw someone stand for, like, you're at a sporting event, and they stood up, took their hat off, and put their hand over their heart, and sang the national anthem, do you really, like, does that bother you a lot? You might be like, oh, that's weird. But, like, does it bother you? Do you want them to stop? I don't think most people want them to stop. Who gives a shit? But I also don't fucking care if someone doesn't do that. Who cares? Do what you want. Freedom, dude. Freedom. It's not really for me. I'll stand because I don't want to be that guy usually. I might not even take my hat off. I might not think about it. But I'll stand sometimes. I don't know. I've been to lots of sporting events. Sometimes I'm not going to, though. I don't know. It's not about the flag. I don't really give a shit about that. I usually talk during it. Or look at my phone or some shit. I don't really care about it. It's not a big deal to me. But it's a big deal to some people, and that's fine. I don't care. If you have fucking loads of patriotism, eat your fucking heart out, dude. Cry. I don't even care. Cry into a literal apple pie and then slurp up your tears off the appley juices out of the pie tin. I'm fine with that. 100% fine with it. You're a weirdo, but I'm fine with it. Sky Comment following with 50 biddies. It's telling that no one has ever questioned the legal status of European immigrants. It's only brown immigrants. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Unless they're Russian, I guess, or sound Russian. Yep, definitely happens. Deep throat a hot dog? We call them glizzies where I'm from.
For 3 easy payments of $16.19, this album could be yours today. But
$16.19? Does that mean a thing, chat?
oh, wait! If you call now, we'll make a donation to a Puerto Rican grandmother whose home is falling apart due to neglect by her rich American family members.
That's an AOC joke, chat. Oh, the 1619 project. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You might as well order now,
I forget all their fucking bullshit.
because we're going to take all of your money anyway, and it's going to be required indoctrination, I mean education, for your children.
The CD? Is that the end of the whole thing? Yeah, okay. All right, so that's the end of their fucking thing. I don't know, man. I feel like conservatives just don't fucking have conversations with people. Like I don't think a single conservative is willing to have a conversation with a leftist. Would you support a 4-day work week? Of course. Yeah. Anything to reduce the work week. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we should work to live or live to work. Those things are bad. Those are both bad things. 2-day work week? I don't care. If you can work 2 days a week and we still get the labor that we need in America, then I'm fine with that. There's a worker shortage right now because no one wants to take shitty jobs, by the way. 4/10s? Well, it wouldn't have to be 40 hours. A 4-day work week, I would believe, would eliminate 8 hours out of the work week, so 32, right? I think 32 hours makes a lot more sense. I also don't hate 32 spread over 5. That's fine, too. I just don't think we need to have, like, this. The 40-hour work week was, by the way, 40 hours was bargained down by worker rights advocates from basically unlimited work to get a living wage. And that hasn't moved since the Industrial Revolution, really. That's not good. Since the waning era of the Industrial Revolution, that is. But like that's really bad. That's not a good thing. We don't have to work in fucking factories anymore, dude. In fact, studies show that a 6-hour workday is kind of like the tippy top of productivity. Any longer than that, and people's just productivity just dips right out. It just does. And of course, happier workers that have leisure time are also more productive. Studies show all of these things. If you want productivity, you need to work people less, pay them more, and give them more leisure time. And your productivity will stay the same. You'll spend less money on labor. They'll make a higher wage, right? For the amount of work they do, right? And then, of course, you're going to make more money because people have more money to spend on shit. So, I mean, that's just all how it works. Lose focus around 6 hours. Yeah, and that includes the studies show that also like paternal and maternal leave for a year basically, or at least 6 months, really help productivity because people want to be home with their kids and they're not very productive when they want to be home with their kids and they're at work. Fantastic Voyager, thanks so much for the 6 months. Childcare being included in work or just in public spaces at all obviously increases being accessible and affordable. Increases productivity as well because people aren't worried about their kids. Access to high quality education, obviously, for your kids is part of that. I mean, there's just so many things that go into productivity just from a psychological point of view. Having access to mental health care and physical health care and dental and vision, obviously, which is physical health care. I don't know why they're separate. Yeah, I do capitalism. But having access to all of these things also improves productivity. It's just known. I mean, there's just so much that goes on with like if you just treat people well, they work better. Surprise. Nobody's surprised about that. I work 6 to 8 hour days and get 15 minutes once a day to eat. Yeah, that's bullshit. In fact, I don't know how that's legal. Usually you're supposed to get half an hour at least, but that's even worse. In fact, I think a 6-hour workday with an hour total within that that you get to spend not working is probably ideal. Regardless of what it is. What do you want? 4 15s or 1 hour break? However you want to break it up. I think that's 100%. I get no breaks on 12's food service. Yeah, I worked food service too. I got very few breaks. Very few breaks. Yep. My wife had to sign a waiver to give up her right to guaranteed lunch break. She had to? What the fuck? Or she was fired, probably. Like, how is that freedom? How is that freedom? So weird. So weird to say that, oh yeah, we have freedom. And then, and then do that kind of shit.